Okay, this is Robert B. Thompson's Grace. Replaces the law or replaces righteous behavior. This book is available for free on the website wor.org. It's also available for a couple dollars on Amazon.com. So I'll be reading from my purchased copy on my Kindle. Here we go.
Behavior. Introduction. God's desire for man is best summed up in the following passage. He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. Micah 6:8. Who is the man that does good? The man who practices righteousness, loves mercy, walks humbly with God. God's will for man never changes, not under the Adamic, Abrahamic, Mosaic covenants, the New Covenant, or any other covenant. God always loves and approves of the person who practices righteousness, loves mercy, and walks humbly with God.
That's right.
Who would deny this? The answer is
No one.
But religious people always are able to find a way to evade the need to practice righteousness, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. The Jews were able to evade Micah 6:8 by worshipping the Torah instead of God, and by devising an endless amount of statutes whose purpose is to interpret the Torah, the law, so that it governs every aspect of daily life. The Orthodox have fastened and still fasten on the letter of the Talmud, and sometimes are unmerciful and as proud and arrogant as it is possible for a human being to be. They do not always walk humbly with God. The devout Jews often look down to the Torah instead of up to God.
Amen.
The Christians have fared no better. They have used and yet are using the writings of the Apostle Paul to prove beyond doubt we are saved by sovereign, supreme, unconditional grace whether or not we practice righteousness, love mercy, or walk humbly with God. Those who follow this line of teaching often do not practice righteousness, love mercy, or walk humbly with God. The purpose of this short essay is to clarify the purpose of divine grace, that it is not intended to replace righteous behavior but to replace the law of Moses, in the hope that righteous behavior, mercy, and humility, which sometimes were not produced by the law, will result.
Amen.
God's desire always and eternally is that people practice righteousness, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. God never has and never will provide a covenant that replaces the need for righteous behavior in human beings. The goal of redemption is
So that never changes. And it's a problem to this day. No one would admit you turn on the news and all you see is unrighteous behavior. And furthermore, you see unrighteous behavior trumpeted and upheld and defended.
righteous behavior all his life. The Apostle Paul sought righteousness. The devout Jew places righteousness above all other values, all other goals, even when he does not understand how God views righteousness. When Paul was studying under Gamaliel, he was seeking righteousness. When Paul put Christians in jail, he was seeking righteousness under the law, for the law teaches we are to put to death those who would attempt to turn us away from the true God. When the student does not understand that Paul was striving for righteousness, he cannot possibly understand Paul's teaching concerning the grace of God. Paul was not seeking righteousness so he would go to heaven when he died.
How about that?
Eternal residence in the spirit paradise was not Paul's
It
goal.
was not Paul's goal.
Residence in heaven was not the goal of salvation under the old covenant, nor is it the goal of salvation under the new. Paul was seeking righteousness so he would be pleasing to God, and in the day of resurrection would be one of God's stars. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. Daniel.
Amen. Those who are wise shall shine like the brightness of the firmament, and those who turn many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. Amen to that.
Daniel 12:2-3. The concept of eternal residence in the spirit paradise, of a mansion in heaven, was added to Christian theology at some point after the death of the original apostles. Heaven as the goal of redemption does not appear in any writing of the Hebrew prophets or of the apostles of the Lamb. Paul was seeking righteousness in order to please God, and also so he would not be punished or destroyed in the day of judgment. Paul knew the